Hello everyone and welcome to Life Begins in 20. My name is Mark and in this video we're going to be looking at the shard colours within my cube plus the one rainbow card I have in here as well. So without any further ado, let's get stuck in. Starting off with Jund, we've got Sprouting Thrinax. So we've got ourselves a 3-3 for a black, a red and a green. When it's put into the graveyard from play, it just replaces itself with 3 1/1 sapling creature tokens. So that has been pretty useful to have. You can be swinging with this early if you can get the mana cost working for you, and then having yourself the tokens on top has been pretty useful. Next up in Naya, we've got Samut, Voice of Dissent, and I've been very, very impressed with Samut. I really have. So for 3, a green and a red, you've got yourself a 3/4 flash, double strike, vigilance, haste, and other creatures you control have haste, so just loads and loads of keywords on the top there. Plus you can pay a white and tap it to untap another target creature. And that has actually been pretty useful to have later on in the game. I mean, I've actually had case scenarios where that untapping of a target creature just meant that you had a bigger creature swinging in and you just wanted to have, with loads of +1/+1 counters on it for example, and you just wanted to have a massive great blocker come back. Or if your opponent had flyers and you need to be able to deal with that, you still be able to swing in, and that's been great. But to be honest, Samut has done some absolutely fantastic work, and it's just a really strong creature to have out there, potentially a little bit on the expensive side, but I'm happy to have it in one of the shard slots. Next we've got in Bant, we've got Tamiyo, Field Researcher, and to be honest, this was the first Planeswalker I actually opened myself, so this is probably why it's in here. There's probably better cards out there, but for me, 4 cost loyalty, 1 a green, a white and a blue. Choose up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of these creatures deals combat damage, you get to draw a card. That could be great. You can also target your opponent's one there, so if they end up deciding they want to try and swing in at you, you'll end up getting to draw some cards off the back of it. A -2, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during the net controller's next untap step, so again you can come in with Tamiyo, tap down 2 really important non-land permanents, and it just means you've got a little bit of a chance then to play your way into the game if needs be, or really put them behind. And a -7 is draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with you may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying the mana cost. I have actually managed to get hold of that ultimate and it's just been hilarious. Well, for me anyway. You're just literally slinging spells and just playing absolutely everything. So many broken, busted things. So I have been really enjoying that. Next up, we've got Esper. It's Sphinx of the Steel Wind. So this is, again, has been a really good reanimation target as well. 5, a white, blue and a black. I've actually cast this for its normal casting cost as well at one point in time, or it's a great tinker target. So flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink, protection for red and green. I mean, that's just a really, really strong creature that's going to be able to last quite a while on the board. There's always going to be removals to be able to get rid of this in white and in black, but to be perfectly honest, this is going to do some significant work for you if it gets out. Next up in Grixis, we've got Cruel Ultimatum, and to be perfectly honest, as soon as I open up a Nicol Bolas from the new set, that'll be going straight in. Completely and utterly replacing this, but this is just hilarious anyway. So for 2 blue, 3 black and 2 red, target opponent sacrifices a creature, discard 3 cards, then loses 5 life. You return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw 3 cards and then gain 5 life. So the tempo swing there is absolutely great for you, and it's just a really amusing card if it comes off. But like I said before, as soon as Nicol Bolas is going to be coming from the next set and it's going straight into my cube, I didn't manage to get hold of the previous one because I just haven't been playing for long enough, but the new one looks fantastic as well and it'll be going straight in. Next up, as you can probably tell, this was a little bit of an accident on my part because I didn't mean to buy it in French, but there we go. So we've got here Sulphide Grandmaster. So for 1 and a white, it's a 2/2 with lifelink. Instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink, and for either 2 blue or 2 red or a mixture of, the next time you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, put that card into your hand instead of into the graveyard as it resolves. So in a Spells Matter deck, this actually has proved to be very, very useful, but I really need to get hold of one in English because whenever anybody else who's not used to the card end up playing my cube, they kind of ask me what on earth did this card do, and I've ended up having to go have their phone by the side of them just to have what the card description does, or they just end up not picking it at all. So I do need to replace this very, very quickly with an English card version there. Next, we move into Mardu with Alicia, who smiles at death. So for 2 in a red, you got a 3/2 with first strike. That by itself is pretty decent anyway. Whenever Alicia, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay either 2 white, 2 black, or a mixture of. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. And there are loads of cards here that could be perfect target for this. I mean, you've got any of the 1-drops within white, your likes of Expedition Envoy, Mardu Woe Reaper, and so on. Again, this can be, very, very rewarding as the game goes on, and I've really been enjoying this. Next up, we've got Tasiga the Golden Fang. So for 5 and black, you've got a 4/5, but with Delve, so it means you're never really going to be paying that much, especially if you can fill up your graveyard very, very quickly and get this out actually pretty cheap. Then you've got, so for 2 and 2 green, 2 blue, or a mixture of, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a non-land card from an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand. So it just means you can be able to get some bits and pieces back from your graveyard every turn if you wanted to. Yes, it's up to your opponent what comes back, but it's still going to be able to get some bits and pieces back there. Next up, we've got Warden of the First Tree, and this is in Abzan. So for 1 green, you got yourself a 1/1. So it's just another modular card in the sense that you can pay either 1 and a white or black, and it becomes then a 3/3, and then you can pump it up again, paying 2 and a mixture of. Then it becomes a Human Spirit Warrior with Trample and Lifelink on top, and then you can pay 3 and either 3 white, 3 black, or a mixture of, and it becomes a Spirit, so you get to put 5 +1/+1 counters on it as well. So it can just become up bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So I like having that because it just means you can have spending a little bit more of your mana later on in the game if you've got nothing else to do. And last of all, in the shards, we've got Tima here with Yasova Dragonclaw. So we've got a 4/2 with Trample for 2 and a green. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 and either 2 blue, 2 red, or a mixture. If you do, gain control of target creature and opponent controls with power less than Yasova Dragonclaw's power until the end of turn. Untap that creature and it gains haste until the end of turn. So I've had some interesting games with this where we've got a massive pump spell. You've managed to steal one of your opponent's biggest creatures with, say, 7 power, for example, and just swung in and done some significant damage, if not killing off the opponent, because they were just expecting to be able to use that creature as a blocker. So there's been some very amusing plays with this card. And last up in the rainbow, we've got Child of Alara, and again, it's from the Vault of Annihilation. I just find it entertaining because I kind of like having it in here as a 6/6 trample for all of the colours. Whenever it dies, destroy all non-land permanents and they can't be regenerated. If anybody actually gets to the point of playing it, great, fair play for you. I don't mind it if you can actually get this off. If not, it's just an amusing card in there. Same as sometimes everybody, players with cubes end up having Nicol Bolas in there, even though they're not supporting any of the other shards, just because it's Nicol Bolas. So for me, this is what Child of Alara is doing in here. So there we have all of the shard colours within my cube, plus the 1 rainbow card in there as well, and the cube is playing so much better after this massive 300 card update than it was before. So again, I would just like to say thank you to everybody that's already given me previous comments before I started this update, plus everybody that's also put in comments and suggestions into my previous videos as well. My list is growing rapidly at this rate for all the cards that I'm trying to get hold of now for my cube, just to bring it up to another level. So again, thank you all so much for doing that. It's all really appreciated. I would just like to take this moment to thank my Patreons of the channel. I can't thank you enough for the help and support that you're giving me. If you'd like to do the same, head over to patreon.com/lifebegins@20, and there'll be a link in the description below for that as well, where there are plenty of rewards to choose from. With your support, we can really push to make this channel even better. Be sure to check out our sponsor, 5colorcombo.com, for a great range of Magic the Gathering accessories with stunning artwork, plus a great app to draft and create decks on the fly. Use the referral code LifeBegins20 for 5% off. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. With your support, we can really help this channel to grow. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.